Hey everyone, Shammy here and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K18. Now this one's a little bit different because this one has not been suggested by any person individually. This was one of my ideas to do, and it's basically from the news that has come out recently. Now, if you don't know, then Chris Jericho has challenged Kenny Omega to a match at Wrestle Kingdom, of course New Japan, in the new year. That for me is insane to think that Chris Jericho is going to be wrestling in New Japan again after all these years. I think that's so cool. So I thought I'd do the match here on 2K18 just to see how it pans out. And of course we've got ourselves a big New Japan arena. I quite like some of these arenas. I think we'll probably end up using some of these for our specials in SWE and so forth. But until we get a good enough set of cores to using them, I feel like we're going to have to wait out a little bit. But I like this. How cool is this arena? Our makers out first, and of course is Chris Jericho. I liked it. If you've not seen the little video, he looks a bit more darker. He seems to have grown his hair out a little bit more as well in his little thing that happened at New Japan. The thing is, you can't blame him, can you? Chris Jericho could end up being somebody who would wrestle in both Wrestle Kingdom and WrestleMania next year, which would be insane. But it has been done before. Of course, AJ Styles did it a couple of years ago when he debuted in WWE. He, of course, wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom against... Who did he wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom? I want to say Nakamura. It wasn't Nakamura. Nakamura was the year before, wasn't it? Might have been Ibushi. I can't remember now. But yeah, AJ Styles wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom and then made his debut at the Royal Rumble before wrestling again at WrestleMania against Chris Jericho. So it's pretty cool. And again, Chris Jericho's not under any fixed contract with WWE. He comes back and does his little runs here and there, and it's all amazing, but at the same time, you can't stop the guy from going and wrestling in front of hundreds of thousands of people in Japan, can you, really? And here comes Kenny Omega. It's a new Kenny Omega. The face is pretty good. The hair is always a problem on this game with Kenny Omega, but this doesn't look too bad. It does look a little bit painted on, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's not going to be a problem. Good old Kenny the Cleaner. I've got that t-shirt, the Kenny the Cleaner t-shirt. I imported it from Pro Wrestling Tees in America. It's so expensive to get stuff from. Well, it's not that as well. I brought 4 t-shirts and it cost me over 100 quid with delivery on top, which is obviously a lot of money, which is why I signed up for WrestleCrate in the end. If you ever looking to do that, you've got WrestleCrate in the UK, and then you've got Pro Wrestling Crate, which is the one run by Pro Wrestling Tees in America. I would suggest, if you're debating against the two, I would suggest going with the Pro Wrestling Crate in America. I got the £40 one, which gets you free t-shirts and loads of little bits and bobs as well. It's really worth the money, to be honest. And we are underway then. Yes, it was announced back on Saturday or Sunday, just gone, that this match was going to happen. I thought it was rumour, but no, it's been confirmed by New Japan. And of course, Jericho actually turned up at one of the pay-per-views to build up to this match. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've watched Wrestle Kingdom the last few years now, and it's just an amazing show. It really is. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, if you've never watched one of the old ones, then go back and check them out for your own good, because there's been some incredible matches in the past few years. You've had the Okada versus Tanahashi matches, which were all like 5 stars. Of course, this year we had Omega versus Okada, which was a 6-star match. We've had matches between Nakamura and AJ Styles, which is amazing. Nakamura Kota Ibushi was outstanding as well. Just everything, just every single match on the top end of Wrestle Kingdom of the last 3 or 4, 5 years, 6 years even, has been absolutely insanely good. And I dare say that Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, we'll see a better side of Chris Jericho. We'll see a side of Chris Jericho that can wrestle a longer match. And I just hope he can pull it off, because he's used to the WWE style of the last few years. He's used to putting on a good 20-minute match here and there. Whereas I dare say a match against Omega could end up being a much longer match. So he's going to have to really work on his conditioning to build himself up and make sure he can last as long. If you remember last year, I think the Omega versus Okada match lasted near on an hour, which is just incredible. Omega going for the pin here. 1. Only 1 count. Jericho kicking out. Jericho now sending Omega into the ropes. Omega taking Jericho down with the arm drag. And Jericho's really struggling to get much offense on here. As soon as he tries to get back in it, you see Omega catching him once again with that knee. Now up on the shoulder, but nope. Reverse DDT once again by Jericho. Now Jericho heading up to the middle rope. Stalking the ground at Omega. What's he got planned? Nice double axe handle there by Chris Jericho. Bringing Omega back up to his feet. Looking for a scoop slam, but Omega falls out the back into reverse DDT of his own. It's such a back and forth match, this one. Jericho, nice. Northern Light suplex. And now just rubbing his boot across the face of Kenny Omega as well. Jericho bringing Omega up and looking to roll him over. He's dead center of the ring, looking to roll over the walls. And he has turned him. Does Omega have enough to survive this Walls of Jericho? Can he break free as well? Omega holding on. Jericho. Oh, Omega does use his leg strength to flip Jericho over, and Omega's back up. But what damage has been done to the back of Chris Jericho already? Omega now just draping Jericho across that middle rope, but Jericho's back up. Omega catches him, looking for that underhook brainbuster. The maneuver used by every leader at Bullet Club, wasn't it? It was used by Finn Balor, then Chris Jericho. Then AJ Styles took it up, and now Kenny Omega's using that move as well. Omega going for the Ace Crusher, but Jericho forcing it away. Big forearm there by Omega. Now taking Jericho up. Oh. Into that package Michinoku driver. Well, it might have been a package brainbuster. I've got no idea, to be honest with you. That's the problem with watching some of these wrestlers now, is they've got so many unique moves that you've got no idea what half of them are called. I'm pretty sure it was like a package Michinoku driver. Jericho catching Omega now in the front chancery. Looking for that Northern Light suplex. Jericho now stalking Kenny Omega. Boom, there's the code breaker. Oh, and look at the knees catching Omega in the face. Omega's been busted open. 1, 2... And no, only a 2 count. Well, look at the blood streaming from the forehead now of Omega. Jericho can't believe it. He thought there's match 1 right there. And Omega looks pretty rocked here. Jericho now to the outside. Look at that Quesadora, but Omega rolls out the way. Omega now dropping into the pin on Jericho. I don't think it's going to be enough, but it gives Omega a chance just to rest for a few more seconds. Jericho catching Omega into the backbreaker. Maybe trying to set him up once again for another Walls of Jericho. At this point in time, you'd say that Jericho's in control. There's the Lion Salt on Omega as well by Chris Jericho. Jericho bringing Omega back up. Oh, just slapping him now. Jericho rolling Omega into the center of the ring. Slamming the arm into the mat. And Jericho stalking Omega once again. I think Omega's really going to struggle here. Definitely, that has got to be game, set, match. Now, the second code breaker of the match by Chris Jericho is surely going to be enough. 1, 2, and no! Omega's kicked out again. Jericho can't believe it. Look at the blood on Omega's face now. Jericho can't believe it. Jericho, big back senton, and he's in full control of this match. Omega's getting nothing at all. Jericho up on the middle rope now, trying to get the Japanese crowd behind him. Dropping an elbow right in the heart of Kenny Omega as well. Jericho dragging Omega into the middle of the ring. I thought he might be looking for the walls again there, but instead going for that leg breaker. Now bringing Omega back up. Jericho now, oh, looking for the powerbomb, but Omega reversed it into an X Factor. This is Omega's chance to try and turn this match around. Brings Jericho back up, catches him. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Oh, I love that move. That's one of my favourite moves. The deadlift capture German suplex is not enough to keep Jericho down, though. Oh my god. Well, based on 2K18's representation of what is going to happen, I dare say Wrestle Kingdom's going to be amazing. I dare say Wrestle Kingdom's going to be a fantastic, fantastic show at this rate. Jericho now with the big elbows in the gut of Kenny Omega. And now catches him. And rolls him over so far away from the ropes. There's the Walls of Jericho once again. Is Omega going to have to tap out? He does. Omega taps out. And Chris Jericho is victorious. Will this be the same result that happens at Wrestle Kingdom on January the 4th? or will Kenny Omega become victorious? What a match that was. Wow. Real good back and forth match. Really good back and forth match. This was earlier on when Omega was able to break free from the walls of Jericho. There's that stiff forearm there by Jericho as well. That was the second code break. That was the first code breaker that busted Omega open, that was. There was the Lion Soul, and it looked like for the long term that, that Jericho was definitely going to win this one. And the second code breaker there as well. Still not enough to keep Jericho down. That was the insane thing. Omega now, should I say. But eventually the second walls of Jericho. The damage had been done to the back. And Chris Jericho is victorious. Like I said, will this happen when the two guys meet at Wrestle Kingdom on January the 4th? Or will we see Omega on top? Either way, as 2K18 has shown us, it's going to be an absolutely incredible match. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, then please do hit the like button. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more. And of course, if you have any suggestions for random matches, drop them down in the comment section below and I will add them into the hat. And of course, if yours gets pulled out, you will get a shout out in the process. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.